I think I smell what The Rock is cooking.
Film is a medium that transports. All I have to do is pop myself in front of the TV to watch a movie, and I can just enjoy it, whatever place the film takes me to.
Movies have always been an escape. It gives you a whole new world to be in.
I have a rekindled love affair with movies.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to this episode of Real to Real Talk. I'm going to be hosting tonight because our friend Sergio Barrera is taking a much-needed night off. I'm joined by the wonderful Paul Britton. We are here to talk about movies on our podcast, Real to Real Talk. So welcome, everybody. Welcome,
Yay.
Paul. How's it going?
Doing good. How are you, Susan? Not like you have anything going on in your life.
I know. I mean, if it's not I mean, just gonna donate a kidney to my husband. That's all.
Yeah,
I'm just kidding.
I cooked my wife dinner.
Well, this means is I get to get a little bit caught up on some of my movies that are on my list.
Sweet.
So there we go. Tonight we are going to be talking about the movies of Dwayne Johnson. He, as everybody knows, he is the original wrestler turned actor Jabroni. Wait, hang on.
Jabroni count. There you go.
Just for you, George. And so I wanted to kind of get your thoughts on how do you feel about Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson? I know we've had some discussions about other wrestlers that have turned acting, but what are your thoughts on Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson?
So, as an entertainment crossover person, so that includes athletes, that includes singers that become actors, or actors that become singers, or whatever. Just from a success standpoint, he's got to be way up there. He's got to be way up there. Like Cher, I guess you could probably, she's won an Oscar, so that's pretty good.
Yeah,
but like box office, forget. I don't think anybody's touching The Rock. It just from a successful transition. Is he the best? I mean, he's better than 90%, I would say. It's very rare to, as John Cena is showing us every day, to have a successful transition from one entertainment realm into another. And he has done it to the point that there's a generation of people that probably have no idea he was a wrestler.
I mean, that's true because my kids didn't know.
See?
Like you mentioned, he's insanely popular. He's insanely successful in terms of his crossover career from wrestler to actor.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, we know him from a few of the Fast and Furious franchise movies, like 5, 6,
5, 6, and 7. And Hobbs and Shaw.
Fate of the Furious and Hobbs and Shaw. He also does voice acting, like he did the voice of Maui in Moana. He also has voiced TV the TV series like the Transformers Prime. He does kids movies like the Race to Witch Mountain and Tooth Fairy, I believe was the other one that, kind of silly kid-like movies. So
The Game Plan is another one too.
The Game,
yes. Yeah.
So what was your first, if you can recall, the first movie that you saw Dwayne Johnson
First
in?
movie that I saw would have been The Roundup. That was him with Stifler. And what year was that? In 2003. So yeah, obviously I was aware of him. I mean, he's one of those people that transcended wrestling in his popularity and his fame. And so I knew about The Rock going in to see the rundown. I freaking love that movie. Have you? Is that on your list? Have you seen that one?
I have not seen that one. No. As far as I know, it's not on my list yet.
Okay.
I have a feeling that you're going to tell me it's
for somebody who has not seen, if I were to pick one The Rock movie that's not Moana, because you know you don't actually get to see him at like just one movie that he's been in. It would be The Rundown. I wouldn't even say that it's even particularly close. He is so good in that, and that's that was his second big role. He had the Scorpion King role that he parlayed into 2 different films from Mummy Returns, but this was his like second big role, and he is so good. I mean, it's ridiculous, and the movie is super fun. Rosario Dawson, Stifler, it's just great. And that would be my intro to him.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to. I think back to the first time I ever saw him on film was in The Mummy Returns, and then his subsequent awful Scorpion King, which I mean, he as an actor, there's not a whole lot you can do with that, because I think that movie was already bad to begin with, and there wasn't anything anybody could do to save it, let alone The Rock.
Right.
But being that I had friends in high school who were wrestling people and really loved wrestling, they were definitely the type of jabronis that we're going to mention that The Rock was a wrestler over and over again.
Yeah.
So I knew of him from wrestling because of, despite not being a wrestling fan, watcher, what have you. So, I mean, I guess, so you've mentioned the Rundown. Is that probably your favorite movie from The Rock?
Yeah. I'm just trying to think, does he have another movie that I like more? Well, Moana. Okay, so like Moana is number 1. I mean, I frigging love Moana, but the Rundown, of any, yes, Rundown would be my favorite, where like you actually see The Rock. But he has other movies that are a lot of fun that I really do actually like. Even though most people didn't like it, I liked he was in the follow-up to Get Shorty, which was Be Cool. Okay. He was in that I really enjoyed that. That's one where I knew it was coming, so I actually read the book first. So it was kind of cool to like have read the book and then see what he did with the character, what I had in my mind, and what he did with it. I'm just going, like, he did a lot of stuff early on where he was not the lead, and other things that he did that he was the lead, and it's like, oh, that didn't work very well.
Yeah, there's definitely some questionable movie
yeah, a good example of one where he wasn't the lead was The Other Guys. Did you see that one?
Yes, I have seen that one.
Yeah.
That's the one with Marky Mark and Will Ferrell, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I've seen that. Yeah, I mean, honestly, for I think for someone as versatile as Dwayne Johnson is, I think that it kind of lends to, it would be better just to let him have the lead. I think, and honestly, like I watched the movie the movie that we're gonna be reviewing today, this most recent movie, Jungle Cruise. It's out on Disney Plus Premium, I believe.
Yeah. And theaters.
And in theaters also, yes. So if you wanted to catch that, you could definitely do that. Before we get there, though, I kind of feel like, what was it, 2 years ago when we had Jumanji, a few years ago, and then we had Jumanji, it just kind of maybe paved the way for this kind of movie, because it was like, hey, that looks familiar.
Yeah. I didn't see the Jumanji reboot.
Oh, okay.
No. Okay. I don't need to add that to my list. Okay.
I mean, honestly, like Karen Gillan was really awesome. I mean, I love her as an actor anyway.
Okay.
But yeah, I feel like he, Dwayne Johnson did a really good job acting on that film, and the film itself kind of had huge gaping holes in it that were like, what's going on?
I just want to do a shout out to here's an odd movie stretch. So 2017, after Fate of the Furious, he does Baywatch, and then Jumanji, and then Rampage, which was, so Jumanji is like a movie that's a game, but not really. wasn't ever actually a game, and then Rampage, which is actually a movie that was of a game, but doesn't really feel anything like the game, and was disappointed. Like, I didn't actually see it because how much I loved the game. And then he does Skyscraper, and I have actually seen Skyscraper, and I only regret Sergio not being here, specifically because I would have loved to have like a 5-minute conversation about Skyscraper with him. It is one of the most ridiculous movies you will ever see if you actually sit down and watch it. And just the premise is absurd. And he is just in peak rock form, and it is just ridiculous. But it is so much freaking fun. I mean that in the worst possible way. It is so much fun. So, but yeah, I mean, that's a crazy, like, where is he going for film stretch? Like,
yeah, I can see what you mean. That's kind of a, well, okay, let's do this too.
Yeah.
So let's get into the movie Jungle Cruise. That was what we were kind of what initially spurred this
right
kind of discussion
sure
about him. What were your, I guess let's go into it. What was your impression of Jungle Cruise?
I actually want to start this by saying I freaking love the Jungle Cruise, the attraction at Walt Disney World. So, like, it is such my jam. Have you ever been?
I have not. No.
Okay. I love the corny jokes. I have a very firm religious belief in the Jungle Cruise and what makes an awesome cruise and what doesn't. It's all about your tour guide and the skipper. I apologize. They're called skippers. The attraction I used to work at, where they were called tour guides, they're at the Jungle Cruise, they're called skippers. It all depends on your skipper. The horrible jokes, they're all just bad puns and dad jokes, and I love it with a deep-rooted passion. And just to have this coming as a movie, I was just like, I don't care. As long as you give me the dad jokes and puns, your baseline is pretty high. And so it didn't disappoint with that. But I did also I was mixed feelings about the movie because I was scared that it wouldn't be good. Like, the trailers didn't wow me.
Yeah, I can see that.
But also I love Emily Blunt. So it had like 2 really charismatic actors in it. It had Dwayne Johnson, and spelled differently than your dad, right?
Yes, spelled differently than my dad.
And it had Dwayne Johnson and Emily Blunt, and it's like, yeah, that should work. And I think it did. I don't know. I really thought it worked.
Sorry, I had to put that out there.
Well, okay. Wow, he went just total left turn with the spelling there.
Yes, thank you to my grandmother. Yeah, there's and honestly, like, it's kind of a joke in the family. He gets it spelled every different way that is possible. Even when he writes it down or spells it out for you, it's like, okay, it's still wrong. And we like to poke a little bit of fun at my uncle, who and it's kind of a family-owned business where they make orthotics and prosthetic limbs for folks. My dad works there, and he has a name tag, and it's spelled wrong, and it's his own brother. Like, so we kind of poke fun at my Uncle David.
No, that's
so. That's a real jabroni move.
That is a total jabroni move. Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Oh man, sorry, I had to get that last one in there.
Absolutely. We could try to go for 4.
I'm going to at the end. I've got a special.
Oh, okay. You're ready to go. All right. I
got it all in my brain here.
Yeah.
So, what do you think? What do you think the strengths of Jungle Cruise, other than
it was the leads? It was the leads. This movie doesn't work at all without The Rock and Emily. It just doesn't. There's just no way, because this story is so kind of like, okay, without like 2 actors that just absolutely buy in and do a good job anytime they buy in, it's gonna flounder, and it doesn't. And it's just like they sell it. That's the strength. The strength is not the twist that they give the Rock's character. Like the twist that they give the Rock's character is not a strength in this movie. It's definitely like well, I didn't see that coming, and I don't quite understand, but okay. And there are so many things I want to say about it, but I want people to watch the movie, and I don't want to ruin the twist. But no,
don't do it. Don't ruin it.
I'm not going. Like, no.
Why?
It's
yeah. So. I mean, I agree with you completely. I think that Dwayne Johnson and Emily Blunt's shoulders must hurt from dragging this entire movie from beginning to end.
But because it's both of them, because they can share the load, it doesn't seem like a slog in my mind. In my mind, it doesn't. I can totally understand how somebody would just say, you know what, I just got tired by the end. I was just tired at the end of the movie. I was not tired at the end of the movie. And they threw in a couple more dad jokes at the end. And I was just like, oh, God bless them.
I have to say that the dad jokes were some of my favorite moments in the entire movie. I think and it's the delivery. It's not just the words. It's the timing. It's the delivery.
Dry.
It's the facial expressions.
It's got to be dry. It's got to be not jokey. Not like, hey, get it? Yuck, yuck, yuck. It's just got to be, boom, this is what I'm saying. And you might catch up or you might not, but I'm going to keep going.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that was one of the things that I had read about it before. I've been, kind of trying to do my best to make sure that I researched before. That was one thing I was really looking forward to. Because like you said, the trailer was kind of a meh, oh, okay.
I was really worried about it.
Exactly. Me too. I was like, well, cool. We're going to have another Race to Witch Mountain.
Yeah. Oof.
Sorry.
Can I just really quick? I had never seen Race to Witch Mountain. I watched it this week, sort of in preparation. Like I always, when we're doing these, I always like to watch one movie at least that I hadn't seen and I picked Race to Witch Mountain. And I think this current incarnation of The Rock actually ate The Rock from Race to Witch Mountain because he's twice as big now as he was for Race to Witch Mountain, which by the way was not good.
No, it was awful. That's why I mentioned it.
And Escape to Witch Mountain is a movie from the late 70s that is one of my all-time favorite Disney live action movies. I love Escape to Witch Mountain. And Race to Witch Mountain is not there.
No. Yeah, that was definitely something that kind of like I said, when I was getting ready to get into the Jungle Cruise, I was like, please don't be that. Please don't be that.
I don't think it was.
It wasn't. No, I think that it turned out really well.
Yeah.
And I think that all in all that, it wasn't like the best movie and I'm probably not going to watch it again, but not terrible. So I will
definitely watch it again because I did have fun with it.
It was fun and I would recommend it to people. Speaking of, let's give our taco ratings.
Sure.
For those of you watching for the first time on our podcast, we can each movie can earn a maximum of 5 tacos, unless you think it was just really great, and then you can add a little bit of guac on top. So, Paul, what is your taco rating for Jungle Cruise?
Do we want to give my rating, or do we want to give Sergio's rating first? Because he did give us a rating for this one.
So yeah, I could start with that. So we did our friend Sergio, again, taking a well-deserved evening off. He stated that Jungle Cruise was 2 tacos. He didn't give
too much exposition on that, but
no explanation on that. So we're going to go with his.
I'm surprised he didn't give it guac because of the dad jokes though. Like those jokes were totally in his wheelhouse. So I would have thought, cause I'm going 3 tacos with guac and the jokes get the guac. So the guac is going straight to the jokes.
I have to say, I'm actually laying about three tacos with guac also, just because there was so much that could have been done that just kind of didn't go as like it. I mean,
Yeah.
like I was expecting it to go.
Right.
But yeah, the dad jokes get guac 100%. Absolutely. All right, folks. So if you want to check out Jungle Cruise, again, it is in theaters. It is on Premium Disney Plus. Check it out and let us know what you think. You can always find us on our Facebook page, Real to Real Talk, and let us know how you're enjoying any movies you've seen. Recommend movies to me or Paul. We're also on Instagram at Real to Real Talk. And of course, we're here on YouTube, Real to Real Talk. Don't forget to like our videos, subscribe, and click the notification bell down below, because that's going to get you a notification when we are posting, when we're going live, because like we are right now, we're live. This is why I can't talk straight. And also when the videos post and land, you've got the first kind of inkling that it's coming. So I think it's time for our weekly segments, Paul, but it's going to be a little quick thing for us because it's just you and me. So
right.
Let's find out what the hell Paul just watched.
All right. So usually when I do this segment, I plan out, like, I'm like, okay, what do I want to, like, I'll look at my list. I have it's not as large as your list, but it's a pretty healthy size list, quite frankly it is. And I'll take a look at the list and I'll be like, okay, what am I in the mood for? On a very rare occasion, I will watch a movie and like just out of the blue, just be like, okay, I'm going to watch this today because I haven't seen it yet. And I'll be like, oh, well, I have just completed my what the hell did I just watch for the week? I don't need to go to my list. And that happened this week when I sat down and watched 2020's pandemic release, Barb and Star Go to Vista Del Mar. This is a movie starring Kristen Wiig and her writing companion. So like when Kristen Wiig write movies, she actually has a companion that she writes with, and Annie Momolo, Annie Momolo, and written by Annie Momolo and Kristen Wiig. And I'm going to harken back to another episode that we did once, and I think it was about a year ago, might have been a little less. We did an episode called Movies That Made Me Pee My Pants. And
yes,
my number one movie that made me pee my pants is a movie called Monty Python's Meaning of Life, and it's specifically because of one segment called Find the Fish, that where and I talked about it on that episode. I highly recommend watching the episode. It's good fun. This movie is basically one long Find the Fish sketch, but like just hopping from topic to topic. This movie is insane, and I was crying through about half of it just from laughing so hard. I had to pause it at one point to go to the bathroom, literally, because I was like, I can't do this anymore. I will pee my pants if I keep doing this. My side hurt by the end of the movie. Like, I literally just, my side, like, I have not laughed throughout a movie this much, probably since going to see Austin Powers the first time in a theater. And like, I wish I had seen this in a theater, because I remember my experience from Austin Powers where like I was laughing so hard and my brother and I were laughing so hard, but like everybody else was just kind of chuckling. We were freaks in that theater. Like, just as how hard I would have been just an absolute freakazoid to see this in the theater with, because everybody else would just be like, all right, that's kind of funny. And I would be dying. And I recognize this movie is not for everyone. Okay, I am flat out saying that this movie is fucking weird, and it is really not funny for some people. But there are people out there who, when they watch Monty Python, The Meaning of Life, and they get to the Find the Fish sketch, and you literally can't breathe after watching the Find the Fish sketch. For those people, for those of my brethren out there, this is the movie for you. Barb and Star Go to Vista Del Mar. I had no idea what I was walking into, and God bless Kristen Wiig and I'm going to butcher her name again, Annie Mullo. God bless them for giving me this pure delight of a stupid movie that I loved. God bless you.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. For the record, guys, that was the episode that Paul is talking about was before video was it was actually aired April 28th, 2020. It was our
Okay.
25th episode ever. And
There
it
you
is
go.
entitled Movie So Funny They Made Us Pee.
Yep.
So check it out. You can find that actually, I think, still on Podbean in the audio section.
Just insert this movie to number 2, and whatever I had at number 5, knock it off the list, because this movie is now my number 2 movie for movies that made me pee my pants. Because it's insane. I mean, there's.
I mean, folks, you can't get a better
there's
endorsement than that.
there are 2 completely random songs in the middle of the movie. Like, why is there a song in this movie? It doesn't, but they're brilliant. I mean, the dude that is in 50 Shades of Grey that plays Christian Grey is in it as like the love interest for this middle-aged Christian Wig from Nebraska, and it's just like, what? It's so, and he sings a song. It's so, Kristen Wiig plays two roles, and Christian Grey is in love with both of them, and it's just, this movie is insane.
It sounds ridiculous.
Movie is just
in the best of ways
crazy. Yes.
Oh,
Hulu.
Man.
Free on Hulu. Check it out.
Hey, there you go, folks. And free on Hulu to watch Barb and Star go to Vista Del Mar. An amazing, glowing review from Paul.
You're probably going to hate it. And I apologize. But
maybe. So just funny. Remember to, I mean, I'm going to check it out. I am. Remember to check out each week so we can see what the hell Paul finally watched this time. So now I get to talk about a movie, and it's a movie that I finally saw because my segment is called Susan Finally Saw. Paul, you will be impressed because it is a talky ass movie.
Wow.
The talkiest of movies. I finally watched The Social Network.
Oh my God. There's never been a more talky movie in the history of talky movies where literally nothing happens.
Nothing happens. And it was all talking. What the hell? And then it was like, oh, look, there's Justin Timberlake. What? Okay. Huh? So I have to say, I did stay awake through the entire movie. For the record, I stayed awake for the entire movie. For folks that are tuning in for the first time, I do have a tendency to fall asleep during talky movies.
Right.
So I have to say, like, I really overall enjoyed The Social Network. The acting was really great. I think for me, like, Jesse Eisenberg was like an asshole, and I really didn't like him. That's the point. I think that Andrew Garfield stole the show 100% as Sovereign. So I did say that wrong, didn't I? Sovereign? I don't know how to say that. I don't remember how. It's been a little minute since I seen it.
It's okay.
But I thought it was really good. It was an interesting story that kept me kind of entertained, kept me wrapped. And it was like, I didn't think I'd make it through that. When it started, I was like,
bravo.
How long is it?
Yeah. And
it's just talking. Oh God. Okay, here we go. No, but I sat down with a good friend of mine, and we just watched it. I actually enjoyed it. I have to say, I actually enjoyed it. So there we go.
I just want to say on this movie, there are people that claim this is the best movie of the decade, of the 2010s. I don't get that. I understand that this is a really good movie, and that for in the year where it was released, it was a fantastic movie. I don't understand people who watch that movie and are like, oh wow, this is like, I don't get it, but more power to them.
Yeah, I mean, I would definitely not say it's the best movie of the decade or whatever. I think that it was interesting and it was very kind of eye-opening, but I don't think it was all that. So there you go, guys. Thanks for watching me finally see The Social Network. If you have any suggestions for movies you think that I need to see, or movies that Paul needs to see, you can get us up on social media. We've got Facebook, Real to Real Talk on our page. Comment on Instagram on this post at Real to Real Talk, or you can even comment there on YouTube. And just let us know what you think. If there's any movies even if you think I've seen it, chances are I haven't. If you've ever started a movie with a sentence with, have you ever seen the movie? Chances are I have not.
Probably have not.
Probably have not. No.
And listen, don't be a jabroni and just watch. Come on and comment and tell us what you think. All right.
Ha ha ha. That took me a second. Paul's winning. All right, fantastic. So this week we also saw a couple of new releases. By we saw, I mean Paul saw. A couple of new releases came out in theaters. The first one, is there one you want to talk about first?
Do the one that Sergio saw, Stillwater, because I did not see that one. I did not get to that one. I knew that I wouldn't have time to see 2 this weekend, or 3 actually, with Jungle Cruise 2. So.
Oh yeah, Jungle Cruise. Oh, I'm just kidding. So from our dear friend Sergio, he mentioned that Stillwater is a solid story with a tension that makes it a compelling watch. It's slowed down by a laborious portrayal by Matt Damon and a supporting cast that doesn't quite rise up to the material. What at first feels like a story about redemption takes a turn that makes you question the actions of desperate people. Wow.
And he gave that 3 tacos plus the guac.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Yep.
All right, fantastic. So we do miss Sergio, and I know that I didn't do that review justice, but
yes, you did. What are you talking about? That's what he wrote. So you did it justice by reading. Yeah.
All right then.
That's what we asked for, though. So
that's true. Yeah, we asked him to write, kind of a 1-sentence, really quick review that we could real quick review.
Right.
The name of the segment.
Yeah.
Who knew, right?
Who knows?
All right. The second movie that we were tasked with watching this week is another new release in theaters called The Green Knight. And I did not see it, but I will also be reading Sergio's take on it after Paul takes it away. Go ahead, Paul.
So The Green Knight I did see, and I was super excited about that one. Stars Dev Patel, directed by David Lowery, who also directed Disney's Pete's Dragon, directed Robert Redford in his last movie, The Old Man and the Gun, and a couple others. He is sort of like a very popular and famous art house director is what he is. And he made this, The Green Knight, for A24, a studio that features heavily in art house cinema. And this is an Arthurian legend, The Green Knight, of Sir Gawain and the Green Knight. And it's a classic legend. Lots of people know the story. Basically, there's a young knight on Arthur's court, Sir Gawain, played by Dev Patel. And on Christmas Eve, a strange knight comes and offers up a game. Anyone can take one swing at him, at the Green Knight, and with the understanding that in 1 year and 1 day from that moment, the Green Knight would be able to then retaliate. So it's just an undefended one swing, whatever you want. And so Sir Gawain chops his head, and the Green Knight, who is like huge and green, picks up his head and says, "All right, I'll see you in a year," and rides off. And yeah, so that's that's the story. And then, so it takes, and then Sir Gawain, after a year and a day, needs to, but although not that far, has to, the time comes where he has to go and meet up with the Green Knight to as part of to live up to his half of the game. It takes 40 minutes. It takes 40 minutes to get from the start of the movie until Sir Gawain heads off to meet up with the Green Knight. And I am telling you, that is a laborious 40 minutes. When I say nothing happens other than Christmas night, he chops off the Green Knight's head. I am literally telling you, nothing happens. Like, they could have just done the Green Knight chopping off the head and then fast forward 10 months or so, which is actually from the point where he chops off the head until that point, they literally do just fast forward. Like, they literally make it seem like all he's been doing is like sleeping with his favorite prostitute in the town, and that's it. It's done absolutely nothing to prepare or anything. Just like, okay, fast forward 10 months, time to go, and nothing happens. And then he sets off, and then more nothing happens. It's just, this is one of the most beautiful movies I've ever seen from a cinematography standpoint. This movie should absolutely be nominated for an Oscar for Best Cinematography come February or March, whenever they do the nominations. But I mean, God, I just like the trials and travails of Sir Gawain as he goes looking for the Green Knight just seem not that exciting. Like, he just misses out on participating. Like, he crosses a battlefield where a battle has clearly just happened. Everyone dies except for this one kid, and he's kind of weird, the kid is, and he points him the way to go to follow a stream to get to the Green Chapel where the Green Knight's waiting for him. And like, of course, the kid like sent him into a trap, but the trap was like his sisters. And when I say this is a kid, this is like 15, 16-year-old kid, and his sisters are not that much older or bigger, and they overpower this knight and take his shit. And it's like, what? Are you serious? And then and it's like, and that never comes back. And it's like stuff happens in this movie that I am just like, what?
Why though?
I spent a lot of this movie with that, exactly that. Well, why? And this is a movie I really wanted to like, by the way. I was really super, super excited about this movie. And again, it is absolutely stunningly beautiful. And I cannot impress upon anybody enough how beautiful this movie is. And it's entirely plausible that I'm missing something. And but yikes, I just wanted something more. I just wanted something more to happen, and it just never happened. It just felt really like this is a guy who's going through for his story, and then the end happened, and then he gets to the end, and I loved the end. I freaking loved the end.
Don't give it away.
Damn it. I bored out of my skull for 2 hours, and then the last 10 minutes is just absolutely fantastic. And the ending is perfect. It is a perfect ending, and God damn it. But yeah, this movie should have been 90 minutes. This would have been a perfect 90-minute movie, except that I would have missed out on 30 minutes of beautiful cinematography like that, so that's where I am. I was bored out of my mind until the last 10 minutes.
That sounds, I don't think I could make it through that. So, Paul, what would you give that rating on our taco scale?
I came into the show and I still didn't know what to give it. And I still don't know what to give it. I think I'm going to give it 3 tacos plus guac, but maybe just 3 tacos. I don't know. They're not very good tacos. Like, there's 2 really bad tacos, and then you have the third one, and it's just like, do I really want to eat that third taco? And then you got 3 totally different kinds of tacos. Like, you got a carnitas, a steak, and a fish. And so you eat the carnitas and the steak first. And you're like, oh, those were not good. And why did I save the fish for last? Because there's no way the fish is going to be better than the carnitas and the steak. And then you eat it, and it's like, holy shit, that's a really good fish taco. So that's where we are. We're at 3 tacos plus guac I guess.
Okay. So our friend Sergio said the Green Knight has 4 tacos plus guac. It gets -1 star for being based on one of my absolute favorite Arthurian legends and cheating the ending by not finishing the story. LOL.
See, now I need to know what the ending was supposed to be. I'll have to.
Well, it's time to do some research, isn't it?
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, Wikipedia.
That's on you. Thank you, friends, for joining us tonight. Again, you can find us on our social media, Facebook, Real to Real Talk, at our Instagram, at Real to Real Talk. You can find other of our past episodes and the different posters and stuff we have. And on YouTube, Real to Real Talk, where you can catch us live every week. So thanks, Paul, for joining me tonight. Sergio, we can't wait for you to come back because I am not very good at this.
You did great. Thanks so much for hosting.
I also want to give out one special thanks for the Dwayne Johnson portion of the episode. We were given a couple of challenges by our dear friend and viewer, George Alvarado. He is the #1 jabroni of the day.
Yeah.
I win.
Absolutely.
All right.
King jabroni.
As always, thank you for joining us on Real to Real Talk. I am going to do my best on this ending that Sergio always gives. Remember, you're awesome. You're amazing. And the world is a better place because you are in it. We'll see you next time on Real to Real Talk.
I'll do Susan's thing.